Hello and welcome to another video on photography. Here I want to talk about used gear. You can save yourself a lot of money, guys, and it's all about patience. Look around. What do you want to be looking for on a camera? Well, you want to make sure that the edges or corners are not heavily worn away. Check the screen, make sure the buttons work, everything's in good condition. Look at the mirror, make sure it's clear, there's no scratches, and take some test shots to make sure it's clear of a huge amount of sensor dust. However, if you're in the UK and you happen to live nearby to a Jessup store, they can clean your sensor for you for £30 if you don't want to do it yourself. I'd always recommend getting a professional to do it for you rather than you do it yourself, because you might end up scratching that sensor. Such as lenses, you can get yourself a good deal. This is the 300 f4, which will set you back about £1,000 new, or possibly, if you get a good deal on eBay, possibly between £500 and £650, £700 second hand. Some lenses are difficult to get hold of, such as the 500 f4. You may be lucky to see if you can get that at half price to what the version 2 is selling at. I think the version 2 is selling at £12,000. You probably can pick up a Mark 1 new for about £6,000. However, if you're lucky on eBay and you're really hard, consistent looking, you might be able to pick one up for about £2,500. Regularly, you can actually buy the non-IS version from Korea and Japan. They sell them quite often. Obviously, you need to keep in mind there will be a lot of import duty and the carriage cost. So keep that in mind if you see a lens going cheap, because at the moment the British pound is quite weak. If you in a couple of years find that the pound is becoming strong again against the dollar, then it might be worth considering buying from abroad. But at the moment, the way the pound is, and because we've left or will be leaving the EU, at the moment the pound is quite weak. Anyway, back to equipment. Don't be afraid to try and get yourself a second-hand camera. If it's Canon, if it's Nikon, it's going to last a while, whether it be a camera or a lens. The lenses are more reliable than the cameras, because obviously you can stick this on any digital SLR but made by Canon. You can also adapt some of these and put adapters on so they can work on other cameras, such as the mirrorless cameras, such as the Sony and the Olympus OM. And you can even adapt Canon lenses to work on Nikon cameras. So keep that in mind, that you can always adapt if you change in the future. So like many pros will say, invest your money in good glass rather than expensive cameras. Personally, I don't have a problem with getting an old camera. So this is the Mark III D1. Good camera. It is only 10 megapixels, but then you've got to ask yourself, how many megapixels do you actually need? It's 10 frames a second, really quick and fast. In its day, this probably would have cost £6,000, but I picked it up for 400. So, I did get the 7D last year for about £400, and it's been perfect for me. The only thing I needed to get done was the sensor cleaned. Most camera stores locally will do that for about £30, and it's worthwhile doing if you want clear images with no sensor dust on them. So yeah, keep in mind that it's all about doing your research, looking into the description, checking the camera out in person if you can. But don't be afraid of buying second-hand equipment, because you can save yourself a small fortune and get yourself some really good gear. Let me say, second-hand, that will set you back about 400. Second-hand, you could pick that up for about 600. So together, £1,000, and you've got a pro body and a decent lens to go with it. To me, that's a fantastic deal if you can get something like that. So I just hope this video has sort of opened the world out for you in the second-hand camera and lens market, and don't be afraid, you know, to use used equipment. Providing they've been looked after, there's no reason why it can't do the job of a new equipment can. So thank you for watching and have a nice day.